right, let's get started. Chapter 20, verse 1. Okay, Noam, you'll read the first pasuk. These are the 10 commandments. I figure we got to go straight to the 10 commandments, just in case, God forbid, somebody can't make it one of the other days. At least you're going to have studied the 10 commandments with the Rashi. Every Jew needs to know the 10 commandments and what Rashi says about them. So chapter 20, verse 1, Noam, you'll read it. Arya, you have the page? 393. By the way, now that I have this coat, I'm going to become an internet star. Everybody on the YouTube is going to love this coat. Okay, go on. Noam. Daber. That's it. So God spoke all of these words saying, right? Daber Elokim. This is the introduction to the 10 commandments. So also when we speak of the 10 commandments, we know, first of all, it's not clear that there are exactly 10 commandments. They're never called the Aseret HaMitzvot. They are called the Aseret HaDvarim, but the 10 utterances, but there may be more than 10 commandments. Also, there are versions. There are two different versions of it. There's the version in Exodus and the version in Deuteronomy. And there are variations between the two, some more significant than others. So let's read the Rashi. Vaydaber Elokim. Why does it say God Elokim spoke, and then the pasuk starts with saying Anochi Hashem, I am Hashem. So it says the Rashi, Ein Elokim Ela Dayan. When the word for God, there are different names for God in the Torah. The word Elokim, Rashi says, means the God of judgment, means God as a judge. Meaning to say, because it's next to the word Vayidaber, and then it's Elokim, that means the God of judgment. There are some passages in the Torah that contain commandments that if you do them, you receive reward, and if you don't do them, you don't receive punishment for them. What's an example of that? Of a commandment, if you do it, you get a reward. If you don't do it, you don't get a punishment. Give me an example of a very good tzitzis. If you wear a tzitzis, you get a reward. If you don't wear a garment with tzitzis, you don't get a punishment, because it's a mitzvah to wear a garment with tzitzis. But if you're not wearing a four-cornered garment, you're not going to get a punishment. But another example is the mitzvah of sending away a mother bird. You don't have to look for a mother bird to send away before taking the eggs. You could just live your life and live your whole life without doing that mitzvah, and you'll be a good Jew. But I might think that these 10 commandments are also like that. Says the verse, Vaydaber Elokim. God spoke, Dayan Lihipara, that Dayan Lihipareya. He'll be a judge to exact punishment. All right, and then it says, God spoke all of these words, says the Rashi, Melamed Sha'amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Aseret HaDibrot B'Dibur Echad. This teaches us that God said all the 10 commandments in one utterance. Do you know what that means? What does it mean he said it all in one utterance? Rashi said something which is impossible for man to say. What does that mean? It means God said it all at once. All the 10 commandments were spoken all at once. So why does the Torah say, list them as 10 separate commandments? Anochi lo yelecha. Because he went back and specified each and every statement of the 10 commandments individually.
And then they Shamar v'Zachor b'Dibur Echad.
But it wasn't just, hold on one second, Yosef on speaker. Shamor v'Zachor b'Dibur Echad, those are the two separate versions of the 10 commandments. So even though they're two separate versions, they were said in one utterance. But here, this Rashi is saying that all of them were said in one utterance. And I guess the Shamor v'Zachor is even than the other version were all said with the same utterance. It's impossible. Obviously, you can't say it, but nowadays we could do it. You know how we could say it all at once?
Get 10 people on.
Well, no, it's 10 different people, but you could get a computer, AI, and you could say to the computer, say everything all at once. And the computer could do that.
Did you try this, Rabbi?
I don't need to try it. It's just, you could just have a computer say 10 things all at once. A computer could do it. A human being can't do it, but a machine can do it. Why not?
Why? Why wouldn't we want it to? I don't understand.
No, we don't want it to, but we could.
Like a quantum computer. It could work the same
I
thing.
don't know. I don't even know why it's a thought, but I guess I just don't know.
The reason why it's a thought is because Rashi says a human being can't do it, and I agree with that. But now we know that a computer can do it, as Ari pointed out. You have a computer do it, no problem.
Well, he's saying Hashem can do it. Is that what Rashi's saying?
Rashi says Hashem can do it, but he says something which a human Adam, a human being can't do it, but God could do it. But I said also a computer can do it.
Yeah, but a computer can't do it unless a human programmed it in.
All right, yeah, obviously the 100% correct, Deborah. That the computer is not God, obviously, and the computer could only do what a man says. But a man nowadays can do it nowadays because we can program the computer to do it.
But we can't program it to all at once to do it all at once. We would have to program it all in one at a time.
We would have to program in one at a time, but then it could say it all at once.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll just put that out there, food for thought. We could ask AI. So that they would end way more saying, Rashi says this teaches us that they would answer yes to the positive and no to the negative. Okay, Arya, you read the next pasuk, the first verse of the Ten Commandments.
Lo Hashem.
Anochi Hashem. You have it?
Which bet?
Bet.
Oh wait, yeah.
Okay, go on.
Anochi Hashem Elokim Asher Hotzei
Anochi Hashem Elokecha.
Asher Hotzei Sicho Meretz Mitzrayim Mibeis Avelim.
Right. Go on. Oh yeah, that's the whole pasuk. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. I am Hashem your God. Asher Hotzei Sicha Meretz Mitzrayim, who led you out from the land of Egypt, from the house of slaves. Let's see what Rashi says. Rashi says here, I am Hashem your God, who led you out. Kedaihi haotzaa shetiu mishubadim li. Rashi says, the fact that I took you out is sufficient reason for you to be subject to me. This is why you have to listen to me, because I took you out of Egypt. That in and of itself is enough. We would still be in Egypt were not for Hashem. Alternatively, why does that? Because Rashi's bothered. Why does Hashem say, I am God who took you out of Egypt? Why doesn't he just say, I am God? That's enough. So he says, the first answer is to tell us the reason why you have to listen is because I took you out of Egypt. Number two, alternatively, because God revealed himself at the sea like a mighty warrior. And now God is revealing himself as an old man full of mercy. How does God reveal himself here as an old man full of mercy? Because it says that beneath his feet there was that which had the form of a brick of sapphire. So,
Is that like Nada Venafihu?
well, it's at the end of Parshas Mishpatim. It says that God's feet there was like the lattice, like it was like a brick of sapphire. And this was in front of him at the time of enslavement as a sign of God's suffering, along with the Israelites in their bondage. And something like in the image of heavens was before him once they were redeemed. Meaning to say that Hashem is compared to a compassionate elderly person whose emotional state shifts with the fortunes of Bnei Israel. And Hovani Mishtane B'marot, since I change appearances, don't say that there are two divine powers. I'm the one who took you out of Egypt and on the sea. Meaning to say, you might have thought, since God was appearing at Sinai, like this elderly, compassionate figure, you might have thought that this is different than the God who took us out of Egypt and split the sea and killed the Egyptians. So therefore, the Torah needs to say here, I'm the God who led you out of Egypt, so you recognize that it's the same God. So that's the second reason. Why does it have to say, I am the God who led you out of Egypt, to teach you that it's the same God? Alternatively, a third answer, Lefisha Yushomin Kolot Harbe. The Israelites heard many sounds at the revelation. As it says, they heard sounds coming from the four directions, from the heavens and the earth. So don't think, go grab a chumash, Aiden. Don't think that there are many different divine powers. So therefore, they're all coming from God who led you out of Egypt. Where's the boys?
They're coming. We were here like 10 minutes ago. There was a little problem outside.
What's the problem?
We fixed it. Basically, Narai by accident ran over what do you call it? A big traffic cone, and it got stuck underneath his car, and it wouldn't move. Like it was stuck, and we had to like do all these some weird.
Baruch Hashem, he fixed it. Baruch
I
Hashem.
actually did it. It was actually me.
No. I believe it was no.
Hashem. No, it was me who fixed it. No, Narai was the one who made the problem, but I was the one who fixed it.
You know what the verse says? Yeah, the verse says as follows. Yeah, this is Aiden. Listen to this verse. This is what my father taught me. The pasuk tells us, "Yalucha zar v'lo mipicha." Let the strangers praise you, not yourself. Right? You ever notice that, like when there's a great player on a sports team and they ask him, "How did you win the game?" You know what they say?
Their teammates.
They always praise the teammates. They always say the teammates. Yeah, they always say that. That's the sign of fake humility, because they know that that was really them. Okay, but shkoyach to you. Thank you. Because of you, everybody was able to study, Aiden.
Yes, they should be here any minute.
Okay, I think my friend just said, he just texted me, he's running for mayor. So I think after what?
Running for mayor where?
DC.
Oh,
I'm going to support him. He's got no chance.
What's his name?
I mean, I just said he's got no chance.
Oh.
But I'll hold on. I'll stop it for a second. I don't know if there are there. You can park in the back, right here. You can get in. Go through Holly. I got my car in. By the way, did you get a discount on the haircut? No, I'm just teasing you. You guys don't have kippas? No, so give your. Oh, you have one. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Let's go on. Okay, so Baruch Hashem, we're continuing. Why does it say I'm the God who led you out of Egypt? Why does it say we're in chapter 20, verse 2? Why does it say I am Hashem your God in the singular? We're looking at the 10 Commandments. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Why in the singular? Says what page is it, Noam? So to tell you, to teach an opening for Moshe to give a defense when it came to the incident of the golden calf. That's why Moshe said, why Hashem does your anger burn against your people? Didn't he say, you didn't tell them, you only said it to me by myself. So this is the last explanation, meaning to say, it says, I am Hashem your God in the singular. So why does it say I am Hashem your God in the singular? Because this gives a defense for Moshe Rabbeinu at the time of the sin of the golden calf, that Moshe Rabbeinu would say, you never told them that I'm your God in the plural. You only said it to me in the singular, so they didn't know. Okay. All right, go on. So, from the house of slaves, from the house of Paro to whom you were slaves. That's what it means. Meaning to say that the Jewish people in Egypt were slaves to Paro and not to other slaves. Okay, next verse Gimel. Whose turn is it? Let's go to Noarai. The man who spent the whole week shoveling out people from Kent Mill so that they could go to shul. Baruch Hashem, he did a huge mitzvot Norai. You read. Oh, you don't have the place. Aiden, you read it. We'll come back to Norai. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah.
No, he didn't finish me Bet Avadim.
Oh, wait. I did. I read the Rashi Mi Beit Avadim. I did.
No, it says Avadim, not Avadim LaAvadim.
I said that, Rabbi Yosef. I said it, Rabbi Yosef. That you're not. They can't. You weren't slaves to other slaves. You're only slaves to Pharaoh. Okay. Read the pasuk, Aiden. Lo, no. Lo yeah. Right. You cannot have any other gods. Why does it say? So there are many commandments in the Torah about idolatry. So why is this one repeated? Lama Nemer. Why is it repeated? Because the next verse says you're not allowed to make yourself a graven image. You know what a graven image is? Like a 3D image. So well, it's a whole question whether or not you'll have to draw yourself as a 3D image. But I'll give you the final answer. There's a lot of discussion. You can't make a completely lifelike 3D image. That's the prohibition. You can make it as long as it's not a complete body. Like that's why just the head is okay. Although some say it's not, but yes. The Jews can't do it, but the non-Jews could. Well, maybe they don't make it complete. First of all, they might be violating the Torah. Where have you seen it? How you doing, boys? You bring mayor? Oh, beautiful. Grab a chumash. What about Kobe? Come on in, mayor. Golem? Where? Yeah, but first of all, if you have a statue, like if does it have all the digits and all the ears and the eyes and all the toes? If it's not complete, not a complete statue, like a completely lifelike, it's not prohibited. But one time I was walking on 16th Street and a guy came running out to me and he says, I have something for you. He made a statue of his rabbi. He said, this is the rabbi when I was in school growing up. And this guy then, he married somebody who was not of the Jewish faith. He married out, but he wanted me to have the statue of the rabbi. He made it with a lot of love. But then he said he left Judaism because his teacher the next year used to beat him and he turned him off to Judaism. That's why I'll never beat a student. Yeah, okay. One of the many reasons why today, in those days, they used to hit students. It was just commonplace. It was commonplace. When many of us were growing up, they used to hit students. Nowadays, we know we don't do it because times have changed. I never did. No, I would never hit a student. God forbid. I would never, ever, ever. No. I mean, I would never even think about it. It's obscene. In fact, it's against Jewish law to do it. It's against Jewish law. You're not allowed to do it. But in those days, they thought it was okay. In those days, what happened was, and I don't want to be judging them, what happened was the rabbis came over, people who survived the Holocaust, they came over to America. And first of all, what happened was, what's going on?
My truck is parking, is blocking their spot.
All right, so just pull it here. Listen. Pull it through the back. Go up to Holly. Go in the alley and park right here. No riots, no problem. I did it with my small car. All right. So what happened was the rabbis would. No, he can do it himself. All right, fine, Judah. Wait, 1 second. Wait. All right, go help him. It's fine. So, whatever. If we have to wait for the minion, we'll wait for the minion. But the point is that the rabbis would be in the Holocaust, and they come out of the Holocaust, and they weren't teachers in Europe, but they came here to America, and they didn't necessarily have skills, and so they said, "Okay, you be a teacher." And then they were teaching these American kids who had no concept of what these people had been through and been through the concentration camps, and they put them in a room. They barely spoke English, and the kids would have completely no way of really interacting with them. And so the teachers would get frustrated, and they would think that this is the way they were disciplined in Europe, etc. And so that's what happened. But God forbid we should judge these teachers, because they were survivors. They were coming from the dungeon, and they were placed in this terrible. They were placed in this situation. So what do you think is going to happen? I would say that, yeah, well, they had nightmares. They had nightmares. They were living a nightmare. So anyway, I'm not making fun of them, God forbid. I'm just saying that it's a different world. So I don't know how we got on this path. It says, Elohim Achirim. Oh, so that's why this guy gave me the statue. So you know how to make a statue. Elohim Achirim. No, because that wasn't, I did accept it, because that was not a complete statue. It was just like the head. And the head, if you just made, it was small. And it's okay. We rule that it's okay, but there are some who are strict and say no graven image. But that's from here. It's from the Ten Commandments. All right. So it says, Elohim Achirim, gods of others, She'enan Elohut. They are not divine, but others, because Rashi says you're not going to make other gods of others. What do you mean? They're not gods. So others, people view them as gods, Rashi says. And you can't say that there are other gods. There's no other gods in the world. Alternatively, what does it mean, Elohim Achirim, other gods? That these gods, quote unquote, are strangers to those who worship them. They cry out to them and they don't answer them. And it makes it seem like if we're the god of another who never knew the worshiper. Meaning these gods that they worship, they're not there for you when you need them. They're not there for you when you need them. Okay. Al Panai, as long as I'm in existence, that you can't say that the only generation that was commanded not to worship a god was the generation at Sinai. We'll do one more pasuk. Whose turn is it to read? Ayal, will you read the pasuk Daled of the Ten Commandments? Yisro, chapter 20, verse 4. No. Lo ta'aseh lecha. You have it, Ayal? Yeah, lo ta'aseh lecha. Right, so you're not allowed to make for yourself any graven image or any picture of anything in the heaven. So, by the way, this is a big problem. Are you allowed to draw a sun? You're allowed to draw the sun. You can't draw a picture of anything in the heaven. You're allowed to draw the moon or the sun. Put that into AI, Aryeh. A lot of people are very strict not to draw a picture of the sun. You see some books, they draw like a purple sun, like some religious...
Rabbi, like you said before, it's not 100% image. Like there's no way to even know what the sun actually looks like. And second of all,
No, it said you can't draw a picture of anything in the heavens. So some people, Rabbi Yosef was saying, it's not everybody agrees with this. Obviously, not everybody agrees with this, but some are strict on the basis of this verse that they won't draw a picture of anything in the sky, like a sun, because they'll say that it's a violation of this prohibition.
and
Many people are not strict about this, but some are strict.
they can't be more religious than Rabban Gamliel. And he had all the shapes of the moon drawn.
So
Huge
right, so he
to
had
the
Rabbi
witnesses.
Gamliel had the shapes of the moon, but there was allowed because the Gemara said, why did he have it? He had it because he needed to teach people. He needed it for a specific educational purpose. But I'm just pointing out that this is an issue that people should be aware of about it. I mean, most people rule that it's okay because you're not really drawing the exact thing. But if it's impossible to do it, then why would the Torah prohibit it? So there's something that's prohibited there. Anyway, it's for a longer discussion, but now's the time to daven mincha. Baruch Hashem, always exciting. And let's daven mincha at this time. Shkoyach.